Hi there. Before you jump into this episode, we want to make sure our listeners know about the How Do You Drew Patreon page, where we release exclusive content for our members.
We've shared unedited video versions of podcast episodes, rare Drew Barrymore photos from our digital archives, movie commentaries, and so much more.
We're currently working through a deep dive of each chapter of Little Girl Lost, which, if you don't know, is Drew's out-of-print autobiography released when she was only a teenager. And it's been really good stuff, you guys.
There's already plenty of content to dig into and lots more to come. So join now for as little as $1 a month and support us at How Do You Drew.
Yeah, go to patreon.com/howdoyoudrew to join today. Thank you.
Enjoy the episode.
Hello, welcome to How Do You Drew?
This is a Drew Barrymore podcast brought to you by thedrewsium.com.
And sponsored by our friends at Positive Medium.
I'm Anne.
And I'm Ashley, and we're giggling because we're making each other laugh over Zoom as we listen to our theme song, Thank You, Matt Costa.
Listen to it live, which we never do.
Never do, yeah. I'm so happy to be here. It feels like we haven't recorded in quite a while.
It probably has been like at least a full 2 weeks.
And now we're back.
Yes. And now we're back and I'm ready for this follow-up thing. So I think this is a deja Drew. I think it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, you want me to mention this?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, as I want to do, I fall down these holes of like old articles and stuff. I found a really cool LA Times article basically about like flower films as Never Been Kissed was about to come out. So it was really cool. I'm sure we'll utilize it at some point. But there was this one thing that I got stuck on, like, what is this? So it had said like that one of the actors who played one of the popular guys had to drop out the day before he finished filming. And like, that was the biggest problem they had during the filming. That was why it was mentioned. And they ended up finding out he had a twin brother who was an actor. So they just problem solved. So I was like, who? And at first I'm like, is this Jeremy Jordan? Like, who is this? So I did some sleuthing as I do. And it was the actor who played Billy Prince, Denny Kirkwood. He has a twin brother who's an actor. So I just thought it was like a fun piece of trivia. And like, what did he film as Billy Prince?
Billy
Bolly.
I looked at the pictures of them like side by side because I was like trying to see like they do look different enough that I feel like if they were both like filmed pieces of them that you probably would be able to tell, but he's not in enough of it that would be like
right. I know. I was almost thinking like
they got lucky
limo scene because he's like at a distance. Maybe you wouldn't notice as well. Maybe he's the one that eggs poor little Josie, the twin, the evil twin.
Oh, Josie. It wasn't Billy. Don't worry about it. That was it just haunted you for all your life, but it wasn't even the same guy. It was his doppelganger.
Oh, now we're going on another tangent. By the way, we are going to have to do doppelganger this October. You are prepared for that, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I'm very prepared. Very prepared.
Listeners, I hope you're ready.
All right. So I want you to tell me about what Drew proclaimed her love for, though I know it's historical. So let's hear about that.
Yeah, we like a historical Drew loves.
I love love.
Going down my little research rabbit holes again. This was a 1998 LA Times article. I was doing some tricky stuff with incognito browsers to get around paywalls. So I saved some good stuff. This was another super cool article. We'll have to talk about it at some point, but I thought this was fun because there was a little Drew Love segment in there.
Okay, let's hear it.
Back in 1998, Drew loved animals.
No way.
I know. Glitter. Can you believe it?
No.
This is a good one. Drive-through car washes.
I just immediately get the image from is it just from the promo for Full Throttle or is it actually in the intro?
No, they do it in the credits scene.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought of that too. And then finally, containers of all kinds, quote, cups and bowls, Ziploc bags, even the new CD wallet she has stuffed in her bag.
CD wallet.
Just to like really put a timestamp on
Yeah,
this.
you just wanted to be like historical.
Yeah.
That's what I meant when I said historical, that some of the listeners might be like, what's a CD wallet?
What's a CD?
Oh my God. That's great because yeah, since our show's not filming, you had to pull the Drew Loves from somewhere else.
I know, truly.
Okay, so it looks like we've got some mail.
You've got mail.
We have a nice little comment from our friend at Charlie's 3 Sexy Sleuths on Instagram. Always been a great supporter of us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what they had to say.
So in awe and proud of the work you two crank out. We fans appreciate you. And 3 exclamation points.
For the 3 angels.
The 3 Sexy Sleuths, you mean?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I like that it says proud.
Yeah.
Something about that. Like, you're part of our Drewby crew. You can be proud of each other.
Yeah. So thank you. That was super sweet. And like, again, like a great person to collaborate with who has a lot of like knowledge of that sort of time, who really cares about like magazines and TV promos and just like all those little details. So super fun. Go check them out on Instagram. We'll link to them on the episode page.
Yay. Let's go back in time a little bit and talk about this week in Drew history. Okay,
this is kind of a weird one, but I had my reasons for pulling it. So August 6th, 1990. So that's really like, you know, Little Girl Lost had just come out a couple months ago. It's an interesting time in Drew's life and career. Mm-hmm. She was attending a lot of random premieres at this time. I think she was probably just trying to like network and be like on people's radars again.
Yep.
So she attended the premiere of Flatliners that starred Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts. But the reason she probably went is it was directed by Joel Schumacher, who we know she was so fond of, and who later directed her in 2000 Malibu Road and Batman Forever.
Yes.
Drew attended that with Leland Hayward, that way too old guy she was engaged / not engaged to at the time. And also her longtime pal, Brent Bolthouse, who is always kind of seen hanging out with her at this time. And like she told Todd Gold, of all people, he interviewed her for, I think it was Details in 1992. And she told him that that she was not engaged, that it was like a joke. And he kind of like pushed back on her, but she like stuck to that story. So that's why I said engaged / not engaged. But, you know, she's 15.
No big deal. 15.
Yeah.
The pictures from this are cool because it's like that very like that time in her life where she's got like her natural blonde and it's, I don't know.
She's got the poison ivy flip happening for sure.
Yep. Do we want to watch this little tiny clip of her on the red carpet?
Yeah, this is the main reason that I chose this one. They showed this, I think, on the MTV movie special, which we're actually going to talk about later in this episode.
Oh, cool.
Drew Barrymore Daisies, also on threads at DB Daisies. They're really good at sharing footage and they shared a clip from it. So I just thought it was fun. This is her on the red carpet.
Do you have a vision yourself of what the afterlife might be?
Yeah, it's a real warm and beautiful place. Some place that I know that when I do finally die that I can be happy at. And I hope that's true.
There's something of that feels like that one day it'll rain, like the way she says it.
Because she's just sort of thinking wistfully about the future. That movie is about like flirting with death, like in a scientific way, from what I recall. So that's the context.
I see of why they're talking about that.
Why they would ask her that, but it's pretty cool.
I like that little clip. I also just wanted to say that I think we've mentioned before that we went to a show once that Brent Bolthouse was DJing.
That's right. Yeah, we were calling him DJ because he was DJing it. That's right. It was before 30 Seconds to Mars at the Roxy.
At the Roxy.
Yeah. That was cool.
Did we know like right away about that whole connection at that time?
I don't recall. But that was the same night we met Cameron Diaz. So we were really in Drew's like orbit that night.
It's true. Drew was probably there.
Nah, we wouldn't have. We would have sensed it.
Okay, so let's talk about what's new with Drew.
Do you want to hit the headlines?
Yeah, I mean, let's just we're going to tease this about wonder. I wonder what this is going to be about. Wanderlust this thing she's doing in Australia. We are literally recording this right after night one in Sydney is over. Mm-hmm. So in like while we're sleeping, I guess they'll be doing the Brisbane one, right?
That's right. So should we introduce it a little bit and just talk about some of the stuff that's come out about it?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about this more. Probably our next episode. We're not totally sure how we're going to release it yet, but we're going to talk to our friend Tess, who literally was there, and she's going to give us like the full scoop on it all. But yeah, leading up to that, Drew did some different press interviews for different Australian media outlets. There was a video for 9 News Australia. We just discovered it's been taken down. Don't know why.
Lame.
But she was doing like Zoom interviews for these different outlets. And she was talking about how Wanderlust will be all about keeping it real. And she mentions how she tripped on her first Tonight Show appearance going up to the stage. And she said, it isn't about putting on a veneer or an air. I would love to trip and fall right on into a lovely conversation. Just thought that was cute.
Aww. There's a Drism vibe to that too.
Yeah, there is. She also talked to the Daily Telegraph.
It looks like we've got a TikTok clip. So let's check it out.
So I have felt a lovely lifelong connection with Australia. And maybe that's the origin story of it. But I appreciate that I've gotten to go there so many different times throughout my life. But it's a place that I really admire and love, and I'm looking forward to getting to know better and to travel in a non-work capacity too. You know, I've been there to Sydney and like many times. I wish I could know how many times. There must be a record of it somewhere.
So of course, Drew saying there's got to be a record about something of her life. I'm like, hello.
Archivist historian in the corner over here, just making a podcast.
You rang? I counted 4 that we know about. She said somewhere else that she's been going since she was a kid. But the first one I know about is when she went in 1998 for The Wedding Singer. So
so there might have been something for like earlier films, but
or maybe she's just doing her thing where she exaggerates when.
Also, she could think like 1998, she felt like a kid. I don't know.
True.
Oh, she kind of said like she wants to come in a personal capacity. So I feel like if she's saying that, it sounds like we probably would have records of like publicity events. Like we probably genuinely kind of know.
Yeah.
Like that's really strange. Okay. So you listened to this podcast, this Carrie and Tommy radio show that she recorded at the airport.
That's what she said.
Cool.
I know. Just a couple quick little notes. They asked her what she was going to take on the flight. And she said her book, her crossword puzzle, a deck of cards, and her gratitude journal. None of those are surprising at all.
Yep. Right on brand.
Yeah, exactly. She mentioned that the word consistency is triggering to her. She uses being a mom as a subliminal excuse to not work out or take care of herself, like, which I totally get. Like, because you're like, I how can I go do this for myself right now when I have a baby outside my door saying, Mama?
Yeah, literally. You literally do. Yes.
She also mentioned that she was seeing a physical therapist because she'd hurt herself working out because she's a, quote, complete doofus, which I liked.
Also tracks that she calls herself that all the time.
She also says if people fall asleep during the group meditation at Wanderlust, which is kind of funny because our friend mentioned that. Yeah, she said that's a good thing because maybe they needed it, and that she struggles with the consistency of meditation herself, but she thinks it's super beneficial.
Yep, I relate.
Totally. And then she's bringing her girls along. It's their summer vacation, so they'll do some sightseeing and excursions, which is really cute that they came.
Okay, so it looks like we've got one more thing, and Drew is going to be included in Demi Lovato's documentary called Child Star that will be released on Hulu on September 17th. And it's described as incorporating Demi's intimate and at times heartbreaking conversations with other former child stars, including Drew Barrymore, Kenan Thompson, Christina Ricci, Raven Simone, and JoJo Siwa. So that's interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with that with Drew.
Same. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. Like, hopefully we see a trailer sometime soon.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey Droobies. We are here to tell you about our website hosts, Positive Medium, and they sponsor the podcast. We've been clients of theirs for over 10 years, and we use them for all our website needs on thedrewseum.com.
Their services include customized web design, professional coding, search engine optimization and marketing, plus hosting, which has been huge for us for many years.
Plus, their incredible customer service has been one of our favorite features. They've literally saved our site quite a few times, and they always help with minor troubleshooting in a matter of minutes. So whether that's coding issues or back-end questions, etc., we reach out, we get help immediately, which is just invaluable.
Lucky you. To our listeners, Positive Medium is offering 25% off any managed WordPress hosting plan using our promo code DREW. That's DREW. Visit our friends over at positivemedium.com. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into one of the biggest years in Drew's career. Also one that's like really important to us because it was the first year that we were like paying attention the whole year as fans.
Totally. And it was like the obsession had ramped up all through 1998. And now we're like, we are big time fans.
In like full head first in. So this is a year, of many awards and accolades. It's the first 2 Flower Films releases, including Never Been Kissed and Olive, came out this year. She was on and off with Luke Wilson, which, is a relationship that feels like a major one in her life. And at this point, it was kind of ending. There are lots of fan favorite magazines. One of the things that really bring us back, like in that nostalgia way.
Oh my gosh.
Her style has a very like 1999 specific thing to it. She was blonde. It was kind of left natural and wavy. It was about shoulder length. She was wearing a lot of long skirts and dresses and like ponchos. We kind of talk about these like ensembles where she's like a businesswoman, like a lot of black blazers or like button up shirts to certain events. But then also she goes back to like the, headbands and bangles. So she was like kind of, I feel like straddling the businesswoman hippie.
Totally. That's so accurate. I had so much nostalgia going through this year because we were just like totally in it. Like we were getting every magazine, we were watching every appearance, and it was like new and exciting for us to be doing that, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, totally. And also I like that you noted this because in 1999, just like many other years, a lot of magazines, they were like using reprints. So we're focusing on like original photo shoots, like things that were taken that year to be released that year because reprints were rampant, like rampant.
Yeah. If you want to see every magazine that came out in 1999 that we own, you can go to thedrewseum.com/1999mags.
Yeah.
You'll see them all, but we cannot talk about all of them here.
No. And please do go to thedrewseum.com because at some point over the last, how many years we've been doing this, we scanned those in so that people could see them. So check it out. Use it as a reference, including this pod. It's a perfect thing to go along with this pod. Okay, so let's jump into January 1999.
Okay, right off the bat, we have Premiere Magazine's 5th annual Women in Hollywood Luncheon. I got a little confused because there's another one that she attends in November. So I guess they like changed their schedules. She actually goes to 2 of these in this year.
Funny. Apparently biannual that year.
Yeah. Very businesswoman-y at this appearance, which I guess makes sense for the occasion, right?
Yep. She almost has, when we were talking about Poison Ivy, like almost a French twist going on with her hair at this event. Not quite, but it's definitely like an updo.
It feels sophisticated, just like Ivy.
And like, she's got a button-down shirt. It's like if she was wearing slacks, she'd be wearing just like, basically men's clothing. She looks adorable. She looks adorable, but very like proper and very like if you were to tell me, which I know this, it was only 3 years before was 1995.
Very different vibe.
Very different vibe. Okay, so early in the year, so January, we have evidence that she went on a date with Jeremy Davies. So Jeremy and Drew were in Gun Crazy together. Totally forgot that.
Yeah, he has a really small part as like one of the high school boys.
Okay. And this is, as you noted, one of the first like blatant evidences that she and Luke were done for now.
For now. Yeah, she had mentioned like in more recent years that her boyfriend at the time of filming Never Been Kissed broke up with her. So obviously that was Luke. But they definitely at least acted like they were together when they were promoting Home Fries. It seems like maybe from late 1998 on, they were very like back and forth.
Got it. These pictures are so cute, though, by the way, of the date with Jeremy Davies.
I know.
I mean, I know they're paparazzi, and we tend to try to, paparazzi is a huge part of why we can do Drew's history, from all this. But these are adorable. Also, like, we're kind of talking about her like semi-sophisticated outfits this year, and in this, she's wearing like a collared shirt with a sweater on top, like with the collar sticking out.
Wearing a tie, or am I imagining that?
I think she might be wearing a tie.
Wow.
Hold on just a second. I think she is.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's also, why is it so cute?
Yeah.
I don't know. And you can see that he brought her flowers.
I know, like huge lilies.
So let's move on. We're still in January. Also, she attended the Broadcast Film Critics Awards, where Steven Spielberg won Best Director. What did he win for? Do you know?
Yes. I did like so much research on this, like all of these events. So I totally, oh my God.
Saving Private Ryan.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, because I think Jeremy Davies is in that.
Oh, you're so right. That's very interesting, isn't it?
Okay, so yeah, there's the direct link to Steven Spielberg and Jeremy Davies.
Weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Another like sophisticated, kind of boring look, actually. She's wearing like all black.
Pretty boring.
But there are some sweet pictures of her with Steven Spielberg at that event.
Yeah, always love. They went to a lot of events in common this year. Like he was actually at the Women in Hollywood luncheons, both of them, and something else later on. So she was hanging with him a lot. Yeah.
That's really cool.
All right, let's move on to February. Sometime maybe around this month. We don't know when. I'd love to get a date on this. She filmed the Swirl 360 music video for the Never Been Kissed soundtrack to Candy in the Sun. I know a place
where always shining.
Oh, but I love her part in that music video so much. Very, very cute.
Also, some really cool magazines, and I remember these releases vividly. In Style magazine and Flaunt magazine, both the March issues, but oh my God.
Yeah, In Style was a big deal.
We went over In Style 1999. I don't know how long ago that episode was.
It was a while ago. Yeah, it's a good episode, and I feel like it doesn't have as much love as you would expect.
Yeah, go back and listen to that. If you're a 1999 lover and you're here, I'm sure we dive into all the lovely things about those photos, about the article. It's special all around, but for us, it's also that 1999 like nostalgia connection. And the flaunt is just rad.
Did you get Flaunt at the time? Because I didn't get it till later.
I'm not totally sure.
It was kind of like an obscure-ish magazine. It was a little harder to find.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you for sure when I got it, but I know if I didn't, I was like sought after it hard.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And I think it was shot at Vasquez Rocks, which is right across the street from my mother-in-law's. And I only connected that kind of recently. I should go over there and try to find these exact mountains.
I was looking at the cover and had that thought, even though the other pictures, you can't tell at all that there are like jagged rocks near her. It's just the cover. I feel like at one point, the like autograph reply from her.
Yes.
Was one of these, right?
Yeah, it was the cover image for a long time. That was like her kind of picture, like her sort of headshot that was used for a lot of things.
Yep.
Including the autograph replies.
Yep.
Also, one other thing I want to say about both those issues is they both feature at least Flossie and Templeton, which is really cool.
Oh, that's so sweet.
For doggies, if you don't know.
So that explains also why we had this like from this jump, it was Drew and those dogs in our fandom.
Yeah,
you know?
They were such a part of her everything.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to March. I'll take this one because this is a home local story for me. The House of Blues opened in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay, which is just crazy because it feels like it's been there forever. I've been there quite a few times. It was Bob Dylan's show.
That's cool.
The only reason we know is there's one photo of Drew there with Penny Marshall. And I'm like, I think she was already sort of gunning for that Riding in Cars with Boys role because we know she had to fight really hard for it. So that's kind of neat to see little snippets of that.
It is. And looking at this cool picture, which I imagine we'll probably share on the episode page because it's really unique and cool.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I would have a hard time placing the date. We know it's 1999, but like there's part of it that like her she's wearing like a velvet dress that I've never seen her wear before.
I know. I want to see this dress more. It's so cool.
It's really cute.
I don't know the source of this image, but obviously somewhere along the line, the information was attached to it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think it's a unique, like on its own, one of those, like the only picture we probably have from this event.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on, I could talk about pictures of Drew forever. Another award. Is it an award show? Show West.
So it's also in Las Vegas and it's kind of awards, but kind of like movie studios kind of say
congratulating themselves.
Yeah, sort of like that. And it's a convention. It's a lot of stuff.
Okay. So at the Show West Awards, like you said, in Vegas, she presented an award to Adam. And in this, the clippings from this, I remember, which there are few and far between. She's wearing like this cute floral. I don't know if it's like really long, but like knee, but just below knee length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's wearing like high black boots with it, which feels very on trend for something she would do now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So this is kind of a weird one. Sometime around here, I'm basing it on her hair. Drew did this cameo in a skit on David Letterman's show where she like we've only seen it on one person's footage tapes. It was a very weird short thing. I think it's supposed to be like the day in the life of Dave or something, if I had to guess. And it shows Drew sitting on a desk in an office, and she's like, it's from the vantage point of, I guess, Dave. That's where the camera is. And it shows her sitting there and she kisses the camera or the guy. And then it pans down and the guy's lap is on fire. And Drew's like, oops. There's no dialogue. It's so random. But what I remember about this, and I think I want to say this was a Brian find. Brian was on our last episode, Old School Drewby, who has always been really good about finding stuff. There was these weird photos of Drew behind the scenes, like doing shadow puppets and stuff when this was filmed. And we like knew about those photos, but we didn't know what it was for. Because, you know, think about back then, it was like it aired and that was it. Like if you didn't see it, if no one saw it, how would we know what it was?
Yeah, there wasn't like social media to go along with it. There was nothing to be
YouTube.
Like, yeah. There was nothing.
So probably most people listening don't have a clue what we're talking about. So we'll share the photos and we will link to the really crappy video we have of it off of Anne's TV.
It's worth it just because it's cool. But yeah, that's so random. Thank you for doing your best attempt to
explain it.
You did a good job, but I feel like to see it is to enjoy it. You know?
Yes, agreed.
To see it is to love it. Also, we have in March 1999, the Saturday Night Live hosting from her second time hosting. We went over this on episode 23, so check that out. We love and adore this appearance on Saturday Night Live.
I know. I mean, even just seeing the photo from the monologue song, it just gives me those like really intense, like, I love this girl. I found out all these things about her life and her career. Now they're singing about all of it. I love it so much.
I'm trying to remember any line from the song right now. And
now in my younger days, my life was like a haze. I used to drink a lot and then I smoked some pot.
Okay, so then right after Saturday Night Live, literally the next day, the Academy Awards. And she was Edward Norton's date. He was a nominee that year. We also talked about the Academy Awards in an episode, so you could go back and listen to that. Adorable look, classic in this like velvet dress. This is also, you can hear us talk about it on the Academy Awards episode, but is this where she kissed
Liv Tyler? Yeah. Also, I think it's worth noting, and I don't know if we mentioned this when we did that episode, she's definitely wearing like extensions in her hair.
Good point.
It's kind of random.
Yeah, her hair is like a good, like, it's like several inches longer.
Yep, from the night before.
I don't think I've ever thought about that. I think the other thing I realized about extensions and like celebrities
is that they all wear
extensions. Yeah, and they wear them all the time. Like Drew, I think like wears like pieces that make her hair thicker on her show like every day.
She's pulled them out and shown before. And like I am also very naive about that. I don't think about it at all. And then when I know someone has them, I'm like, what?
Yeah. No wonder their hair looks so nice. It's like, no wonder we cannot live up to it because it's all fake. Guys, it's all fake. All right. So what else is in March?
She also attended randomly the Matrix premiere, which I just love that little tidbit. It's so random. Too. Like, was this like a thing to be in support of her old buddy Keanu? Maybe.
I love that thought.
Or here's another thought. How like far along was Charlie's Angels in planning and they were working with the stunt coordinators? That's kind of an interesting thing. I would love to know if that.
Well, yeah. Well, when did they start? I guess we get into when they started filming Charlie's Angels. So they would have.
They hadn't started the training yet, but they might have had them lined up.
That's really cool.
Or they might have been talking to them. Maybe she was going to check it out, check out the stunts.
That's really cool. I also love that. That's one thing we've started to do is think about like the reason that Drew did these, like went to red carpet premieres because what is the reason that you want to make an appearance? What is the reason that you want to like rub shoulders? Like it was business, not just fun, like almost always. It's kind of crazy.
And she attended that with her friend Amy Brooks, who we see here and there over the years, kind of going to events with her. And I always have to like pause when I see pictures of this and determine which event it is because she wears the same hat at the SNL after party and it like covers her whole hair. Like she puts all her hair up into it. This like floppy grandma hat. Or I guess it's kind of a 20s flapper hat.
But it does have, I feel like the reason why we think of it as like floppy grandma is because like how magazines, they probably like really like gave her a hard time for this outfit because it's just like big jacket, you know, scarf, that hat. But this was a time also, I just have to say, like we've talked about this before, when like they were very casual, like premiere. Like outfits. Like it wasn't always red carpet.
Yeah, they just like threw on their jeans and walked down to go to the movie premiere.
I just realized literally she's wearing cutoff jeans with tall boots. I just scrolled down and she's literally wearing jeans.
I don't know. I like it. I have a soft spot in my heart for it.
Me too. I do too. I really do. Okay.
She also did the Never Been Kissed press junket. So there's a couple cute interviews out there for that. We'll link to at least one of them, that lovely lady who interviewed her several times.
Yeah, Bobby Wygant.
And she has all of those up on her YouTube. So those are really fun.
Oh, and they're like unedited, which is really neat. Because there was one in particular from 95, I think, where she like makes a comment about her hair in it.
That's right. Yeah.
And I feel like she had almost like she seemed nice, but almost like leaning towards like Barbara Walters' bluntness. Like she kind of was like, you know, I don't know.
What's with this hair?
And you mentioned earlier that somewhere in this timeline, so somewhere in the March timeline, the MTV movie special for Never Been Kissed.
Yes. And I love this interview so much. It has a really MTV movie special place in my heart. Like I watched this all the time back then. Like I could verbatim do some of the things that she said. I loved it so much. And unfortunately,
is it accessible anywhere?
No, of course not. MTV. Yeah, right. I have a really crappy like DVD audio not synced up version of this. So nothing we could share. One thing that I will just like dangle out here as a little tease is there's one thing that they talk about in this that has given me an episode idea. And I did pull the audio from that for the time when we get around to it. But
ooh, cool.
City quality.
That's a good tease.
She's so cute in it though. Like they have her in front of these pink flowers and she is in her like business white collared shirt, but she just looks so pretty and so like just sweetheart.
Yeah, and she's got, I don't know if you already said it, but she's got like a red lip.
Very red.
I gotta say, I don't remember the MTV movie special that well off the cuff, but I bet if I were to watch it again, I'd probably go like, oh yeah, I know all
It's
this.
with Chris Connolly, and like, there's one part where he asks her about how things like she's zen with her mom because she's zen about her dad, and she's like, what does she say? There's some things in life that are weird and awkward, and that's one of them.
I remember that clip.
See, I need to know some of them.
Oh my gosh. I really would love to see that again. Getting on top of our like footage is something that is like a dream.
Feels so unattainable.
But also like being an archivist in the collection I work for and realizing like digital archiving is its own monster. Like physical archiving, like we've kind of had to do because we're trying to protect our shit. And then like digital and like audio and all that other shit is like another freaking monster. So we have all these dreams.
We need to hire somebody for.
I know, right? We have no money, so who wants to volunteer?
You can watch all our footage for free. How about that?
Yeah, you just have to sit in my storage room in Fontana. Okay, anyway, so now we get to the Never Been Kissed premiere, which I have such nostalgia for the look, obviously for this time. I know you've talked about before, like you graduated in 1999, so like Never Been Kissed coming out was a big deal. Of course, we'll talk about it coming out the next month. But the pictures from the premiere are so joyful and so lovely. Looking back at the dress, I'm like, it's a little boring. But again, the nostalgia is so hard for it that I love it, you know?
Yeah. And I think she has those Oscars extensions back in her hair for this. It really looks like the same exact thing.
Good call. There really is like a lot of people are wearing really light colors at the premiere. Like I'm looking at some of the pictures and there's like a lot of like pastel, like light greens and light purples. And
so true.
Nancy's wearing like a white jacket. So is David Arquette like wearing a silver jacket. There are some just lovely pictures of her with Nancy and her with Chris at this celebratory event.
Yeah, I think that's the very first picture of her and Chris that we have ever seen was they printed it later in 17 magazine, I think like the following year. But like that's the oldest picture of the two of them together that we have. So I love that.
Yeah. I do
like,
love that.
Did he come on the scene that year? He probably did. Like we know, obviously it has to be prior to this and that's all we know.
Yep.
So yes, some magazines. Parade, which is just like a weekly newspaper supplement, came out on March 28th.
I remember it.
Yeah, it's not. I didn't get this one. I had USA Weekend was in my newspaper, so I got that one. Some of those times when those came out. Not Parade. Yeah. Not one of my favorite shoots.
Yeah, but again, it's like that nostalgic thing.
Yeah,
I look at it and I go like it's a certain time. I actually feel like looking at a lot of these looks, I'm like, a lot of the 1999 looks are kind of boring.
True.
It's not like it's not the style icon Drew that, other years are. It just informs our fandom by a massive, massive amount. Now let's talk about this other like pretty cool issue, but not because of the cover.
Oh my gosh. Marie Claire from the April issue. And the reason that I have this in March is because if you guys don't know, maybe you don't look at magazines anymore. They come out on newsstands the month before, which I don't understand why they do that. Why don't they come out the month it says? Yeah. But anyway, so this would have been out in March. This one was a big deal for me. I loved this one. I devoured this one because it shows all these cool close-up photos of her bulletin board in her Flower Films office. And it's just jam-packed with cool things.
It's so special. There are all these like annotations in the magazine that describe things like things in her life. This would be cool for us to do like a mini episode on like just going over the bulletin board. I don't know, because it's so neat. Like
there are so many goodies in there.
But of course, you all can go to our website, like Ashley mentioned earlier, and see those scans. I don't know if they're high quality enough to really see the details, but if not, maybe we can put up a new copy of those or something.
Okay. We'll have to check on our own work there. And then finally, Vanity Fair did their Hollywood issue, also March. And there's a gorgeous 2-page spread of Drew done by Annie Leibovitz. She's laying in the grass with a monkey on her. It's very random, but very beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Have we seen only like maybe one other picture from this shot, from this shoot?
I believe so. Sadly, she's in this like very sheer nude colored slip dress too. Oh, it's just really, I remember getting this one too and being so excited by it.
I would die to see like outtakes of that. I also love Annie Leibovitz, not just because she almost has my name.
Yeah, like what if there's other setups from this that we've never seen?
Probably.
Or did they just go, let's just do this grass monkey thing and call it a day?
Grass monkey. That monkey. Grass monkey.
That's her go-to karaoke song too. It all comes back around.
It sure does. Now let's jump into April 1999. This first look that's right here in our notes. It makes me so happy.
Same.
So this is David Letterman. She was a guest on the show wearing this red kind of orangish dress that looks like it's made out of leaves. Like, and that's not a great description. It just almost looks like it has like veining in it, like leaves.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So she's got the braids and this is like the first time that year that she wears the little headband that goes around her forehead. Mm-hmm. And I just love it. I loved it then. I love it now. I think Letterman called her like Pocahontas when she came out, which doesn't feel right. But she also brought him yellow daisies in a water bottle.
Like a glass Avion bottle.
I don't remember that much from the appearance though.
Me neither. I just noticed her shoes are like bright green.
Yeah, they're big platform sandals.
And it looks like the inner lining of the dress is also bright green. I want to know more about the dress. I'm actually curious if we could find out who like the designer was. It's really cool.
That's a fun idea. Maybe I could sick my friend Alex, the Scream style sleuth, on it.
But she just looks so cute. Like her makeup at this is really cute too.
Yes. Jillian Dempsey did that. She's in some of these pictures in the background.
Oh, cool. Okay. So I guess we can move on from that. But I just saw the picture in our notes and I was just like, And
hopefully one day, like, they can put up a better archive of his show because literally I think one of her appearances, maybe two are up and the rest are just scrubbed from the internet, which I hate.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So also in promotion for Never Been Kissed after Letterman, she went on the Rosie O'Donnell show. I think this is the one we've talked about where her bangles are really loud, isn't it?
Yeah. We've talked about this one a lot for some reason. It just has come up many, many times. We've definitely played audio from it.
Yeah. I just realized, is it the same day maybe as Letterman?
I think it's the next day.
Okay. Because she's also wearing that beaded headband and her hair is in pigtails again.
Really into that vibe.
Yeah. Oh, of course. The desk. Yes, of course.
Oh, yeah, the Play-Doh desk. That's that one.
I just like saw it in the picture.
That's the one where she sings Julia from the Beatles.
Yeah.
It's a good one. That one is available. Rosie's cool. Rosie puts her stuff up.
And they've like slowly but surely been like putting more and more up, right? Like,
it's amazing.
Yay, Rosie. So you can go see that April 1999 Rosie thing right online. I'm sure we'll link to it from the episode page.
Of course we will.
And April 9th, Never Been Kissed was released.
Yay. So exciting. Do you remember going to see it?
I do, but I don't remember any like details about going to see it. Like I know I did. I should say, no, I don't remember, but I know I did. That's what I should really say. I know I did. Do I have a recollection?
Nope. I'm pretty sure I saw it with Angie and I think I know what theater it was. And I remember like getting very watery eyes at the end.
Oh.
Then she was back in New York. She went to the Iceman Cometh play. Don't know why, but she attended it with Edward Norton. And of course, this probably was like further fueled the, they're dating rumors that she's always denied. And this was a poncho, one of the many ponchos she wore to this one. I always really liked some of these pictures though, even though the look is pretty out there. It's like different shades of red and pink head to toe.
Yes. Like, and textures. There's so much texture in that outfit. Isn't the other poncho outfit also like singular color from head to toe? Yes. So she got into that. It's cute. She pulls it off. It is such an odd look looking back. Like it feels the like shiny fabric of the skirt feels so 1999 somehow.
Totally.
And the pink poncho, like ponchos are classic, but like pink,
These
I
like
don't know.
knit ones that she was into. She wears one in Never Been Kissed. And she'll wear one later this year at UT's. We'll talk about that in a second. And then she went on Craig Kilborn, which, what was that show called at the time? The Late Late Show?
I think it was the Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn.
And sadly, this one was online a couple years ago because I took screenshots from it and now it's gone. And I love this one. This is another one that I just watched so many times. Do you remember this one?
I do remember it, but the only thing I remember, and it's one of the pictures in our notes, is when he asks her if she can touch her elbows behind her back. And then she's like, I don't know if she realizes right away it's like to make her poke her chest out, but she makes the cutest face. Do you remember why she's wearing that like jersey thing? Because she clearly put it on partway through.
Yeah, so I'll tell you why this was so cute. So she talks about, and it's really weird that this is coming up because totally randomly today, again, I found a weird random article. It has nothing to do with this episode, where she talks about this incident that happened to her in probably 6th grade, where she really wanted to be a cheerleader, and they like said she could come practice with them, and it was all like a prank, and one of the girls was like really mean about her being there. So it was like this thing that always scarred her. And so they give her pom-poms and this like varsity sweater with a big H on it, and she's like, I love the H, it could be healthy, happy. She was so excited about it. She does like some moves with the pom-poms. And if this one comes back up, we will definitely be sharing it because it's such a classic.
God, America's sweetheart.
For real.
All of these clips, I'm just like, I know she was always cute, but I feel like this year it was like,
yes,
there was an America's sweetheart. I don't know. There was something that changed.
I totally agree.
I guess it kind of started in 1998, but there was something about like this. Maybe it was the way she was presenting herself. I don't know. We could analyze this forever, but let's move on to a TV Guide issue that was released in April that has some really cute pictures of Drew with Molly Shannon. I think the cover of this is not them. It's like Futurama. Yeah.
The things that we just know.
Yes.
So useless.
But it's like these pictures that were only taken for that TV Guide. Like, why does TV Guide have its own photo shoots? I don't know, but
they did. They always did that.
Yeah, it's cool. And then issue of Teen People. This is where I was like, Teen People, they don't have any business having good pictures. And then you were, yes, of course, you pointed out to me, oh, they're just a teen version of the magazine People. This is a really cool issue that we would have gone into when we did the Never Been Kissed episode, because it is a bunch of pictures taken on the set of Never Been Kissed. And that's what's really unique about this. The cover picture
is a separate thing.
That's right.
It's a whole separate shoot. And weirdly enough, Jessica Alba and David Arquette are in some of those shoots photos. I don't know why just them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who knows why decisions are made the way they are.
Oh, yeah. So it does have like a few pictures that are not set and then some that are.
Correct. Yeah.
That's right. But there are some really cool behind the scenes shots in this. Like,
again, loved it.
Yeah. And like having behind the scenes stuff printed is not that
true
normal.
Yeah.
So it's really unique in that way.
Oh, all right. Let's move on to May, where like the stuff is still flowing. Like, just because Never Been Kissed only came out in April doesn't mean stuff stopped. Like, she was still all over the place. So we have the Nickelodeon's Kids Choice Awards. Again, she attended this with her friend Amy Brooks. And so Drew won Favorite Movie Actress Forever After. And she was on hand to accept the award, as we said, wearing the scarf and the headband look.
Thank you so much. I'm so incredibly honored and privileged that I am to receive this. My heart thanks you so very much. And I want to continue to do good work for you and to try for you. And I thank you so much. You guys rock so hard.
Okay, the amount of screaming is like
nonstop.
1950s. The Beatles just arrived in the United States. Like
the entire Kids' Choice Awards is like that. The entire thing starts.
And Drew's like, she can't even hear herself, so she's like yelling into the mic.
Yeah, that like, you guys rock so hard. It's like lives in my head forever. And the little air guitar.
So cute.
Then she also presented favorite TV actress with David Arquette. The winners were the Olsen twins who weren't there, but this random kid does it with them. I think maybe a lot of the awards maybe had kids present too. And they like make this little kid kiss her on the cheek. Okay. It's a little weird.
I don't remember it. So let me refresh my memory.
Hey, wait, Drew. I can't believe you've never been kissed. In all the movies you've done with all those hunky leading men, especially E.T.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know, David. I was kind of hoping that we could fix that right here.
Sure. What do you say, Zach?
Want to give me a kiss?
Now here are the nominees.
What?
Definitely a little weird. This kid is like, do I have to? Okay.
Yeah, because it's like she says, do you want to? But I don't think that he really had a choice. Who is the kid? What is the purpose of him being there?
I think they just, they involve the kids a lot in this award show.
It is the Kids' Choice Awards. So I guess we got to give him a chance.
But oh man, love this look. Love the pictures of her with Jesse Camp. If you don't know who that is, sorry you had to be there.
You actually were kind of like into Jesse Camp though.
Oh yeah, he was very much my taste at that time. In fact, my like boyfriend the following year, Rocco, got compared to him a lot, and I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah, not surprised at all.
Nope.
Yep. Oh, this was I just watching a clip of her talking to somebody about the tiny scarf.
No, we were talking to Movies That Made Us Gay about that because she wears one in Full Throttle.
No, but I think she talks to like, is it like Hilary Duff? And they're like showing pictures of them both. I think I just watched an old clip from her show, but they're like talking about this look. And then they also talk about a poncho look. I just realized. Okay, so more award shows. So she went to the Blockbuster Awards.
Yeah, there used to be lots of different award shows, you guys. Again, if you didn't live in this time, there was lots of Hollywood giving itself awards.
I also just love too, it's like Blockbuster, like Blockbuster does not exist.
Yeah.
The Blockbuster Awards long gone. She attended with Nancy, and also she won for actress in a drama romance.
I know, so specific, right?
Forever After, which was presented to her by Courtney Love.
Again, she's like kind of freaking out in a similar way to Kids' Choice Awards, which is funny because she definitely knew she was winning both of these awards beforehand. Like it wasn't like the Oscars where it was just announced and it was shocking, but Drew's like panicking.
I want to thank my friend for Courtney. Oh, this is so exciting to receive this from her. Oh, makes it easier. I'm very nervous. And I want to thank, very, very importantly, I want to thank Bill Mechanic, who's the president of Fox, because he allows me to do this and get to live out my dreams. This is so cool. And everyone at Fox and Andy Tennant, who directed this film, who's so amazing, and Angelica Houston. Oh, it was so wonderful to get beaten by her. And do Grace Scott, and most of all, I want to thank you for letting me get to do what I love more than anything in the world.
I feel like I remember that speech really well.
Yeah, maybe you had that one on tape and watched it a lot.
I don't know. Like for some reason, like not that I could like recite it, but I was just like, all this is like the cadence of it. Everything is like very familiar.
Again, another very like businessy outfit, but I guess that makes sense because it's very industry Blockbuster. I don't know.
I also love that she like calls out like a big, like honcho at the studio.
I have some notes on that. That was one of my little like tangent research things I went down later on as we go along. So there's a reason for him to be mentioned.
Okay.
All right. So somewhere in this range, don't have any information or dates. It's actually kind of this weird mystery. The only reason we know about this is from pictures in Japanese magazines. She went to Japan and was doing promotion for Never Been Kissed and Ever After because they're both under Fox. Again, that's Bill Mechanic, who she mentioned. And there's all these incredible photos from like maybe 3 different days. I love these pictures so much.
Yeah. Why are they so cool?
And why don't we know anything about it?
It's so weird. But yeah, I think I have the most fond memories of things I've held in my hand that are cool.
Yeah.
So like the ones of her by the window in Japan.
Oh my gosh. Love those.
I think one or both of us have like the pages that have them on there from a Japanese magazine. Why are they so special?
They really are.
I mean, so a couple of the things, whether they're the same day or not, we're not sure, but she's wearing like that beaded headband again. She's got her hair in some pigtails. They're so cute. So I feel like we should share a couple of those.
Oh, for sure. And she wears the dress that she wears to the Never Been Kissed premiere, but she's layered it under this like sheer top, which is kind of fun. And she wore those slides a lot too. She wears those on Craig Kilborn. These like Adidas kind of slides. Yes. So random.
Are we ready to get into the other half of the year?
Oh my God, we're not even there yet. Yeah. Okay. Woo. Here we go.
Okay.
So it goes a little faster as things go on now that Never Been Kissed has kind of come and gone. So in June, she attended the A Time for Heroes. It was a big benefit charity event that she went to 5 or 6 years in a row. It was for pediatric AIDS, and she was always photographed there for In Style magazine. They always did like a thing on it. And she was pictured with Lily Sobieski, which is fun. And then most importantly, she runs into Jamie Walters, her ex, who she was actually engaged to. And some photographer got like the perfect moment of her like freaking out seeing him. He's just like leaning on a fence. It's so random.
I love to try to imagine what that conversation was and like how long it had been since they'd seen each other. It really looks like it was like they hadn't seen each other in, 7 years or however long it had been since they broke up.
Totally.
I mean, we know that like they were at least together when they did the photo shoot for Interview, but do we know like a date of when they separated?
Yeah. Well, he broke up with her when she was filming Amy Fisher.
She was in Vancouver.
Yeah. So late 92. I mean, it was such a short relationship when you think about it. I always think that he might be the one that she talks about very often lately about spray painting his car because she like found out he had cheated on her. Something about it makes me think it was him.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway, sorry if I'm wrong.
Hey, it's okay.
Hey, how about another award show? Actually, it's not a show. It's another industry awards. We actually talked about this just a couple episodes ago. This one is the Women in Film Crystal Awards. Nothing to do with the premier Women in Hollywood luncheon. And she was honored at this, and the award was presented by Angelica Houston, which is special. It's just like for women doing good things in film. That's what it's for.
I know there was something really kind that Angelica Houston said about Drew. Yeah. When did we talk about that?
No, we did it for This Week in Drew History.
Oh, okay.
So,
that makes sense.
It was just in June. So very recently.
Literally just.
Yeah.
I almost said last month, but it was the month before last because it's actually August now. Holy shit. We're not in August of 1999 yet, though. Let's go back to July 1999. So in July, she was spotted with Luke. So we've got some paparazzi photos, but it's worthwhile because that relationship, we're sort of curious about the timeline.
Right.
And this is possibly when they were in this open relationship that she told Kate Hudson about on the Drew Barrymore show.
Yeah, that always drives me crazy because, of course, all these media outlets put that as a headline. Her relationship with Luke Wilson was open. And I don't think that was the case when they were first together. She was very serious about him. But then we get this sort of back and forth. They're pictured together. They're not together. And this would track for me as the open relationship she was referring to.
Yes, that does make a lot of sense. Now we have another unknown. We've got the filming of Skipped Parts where she plays the quote unquote fantasy girl. It was a cameo. For Tamara Davis, I had completely forgotten that Tamara Davis made that film.
Directed that.
Completely forgot.
Me too. And the only reason we really know that it's from 1999 that they filmed it is because there's this really random, I guess it's like 3 photos put together.
I don't know this picture.
So there's this like photo of a bunch of people at dinner, and I recognize Jennifer Jason Leigh's hair, the way that it's styled in skipped parts. John C. Reilly is there. He's not in that movie, but he was friends with JJL. So, and obviously had just Never Been Kissed with Drew. So that I guess makes sense. And then Bug Hall, who's also in the movie. He's that guy all the way on the right, the younger guy. He's there.
Where'd you find this?
I feel like Bug Hall might have posted this. I don't remember.
This is so cool.
Yeah. And take note of her pink shirt here, because I think she wears it when she records Olive.
Oh, that's cool.
I think this is, if I had to guess, summer. Like, I feel like she filmed stuff in the summers very often back then. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to, again, like, it's crazy we don't have this information.
So you just mentioned Olive the Other Reindeer is right in this timeline. She's recording the voice and also working on producing it right around this time. So
yeah, I mean, it could have been the whole year. We don't even know. Like, who knows?
good point.
It's crazy. But we have to mention it.
And you pointed out that the outfit or the shirt she's wearing in one of the recording pictures is something she wore on the Rosie O'Donnell show. And then the other picture we have, it really does kind of look like that sweater she's wearing at the dinner.
Yeah, some good wardrobe recycles.
I like that. All right. So August.
Okay. Summer historically in Drew's life is always very quiet. It's kind of funny. That's why I said, like, a lot of times she's gone away filming a movie or something, like even now, like, so quiet in the summer. So the very first issue of short-lived magazine called Talk came out, and we just looked this up. Apparently Miramax was behind this magazine, which is
That's so random.
so weird. But we got this incredible photo shoot by Ellen von Unworth. Drew's not on the cover. She's just inside. And we have these 3 images of her doing different, like, classic film sort of inspired characters. And oh, they're so special.
They're so cool. They are so cool.
Although I instantly think about how crappy that paper was.
I was just going to say that. Of course I was. Literally, I'm always going back to like the tactile relationship that I have with these physical objects.
It was worse than Rolling Stone. It was so thin and so wrinkled.
So much worse. It was like weirdly like a foreign magazine, but like I don't mean like foreign magazines are bad. It was just like,
no, some of them have that same feeling.
Very thin. Like if it were to get any moisture, it would probably just immediately like be like wavy. Yeah. Yep. Oh my God. Yeah. Why was that such bad paper?
Oh my God. I feel like if anybody who's listening understands what we're talking about, they're like screaming at the top of their lungs with excitement that we understand them. And if you don't get it, you think we're freaks.
Why are they going on about how thick the paper was?
I love paper. Such a like specific collector problem.
I also, it's kind of cool to imagine that that's like rare, probably.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And she appeared in it again in 2001. It was like a feature on her and Nancy. It's that where they're like wearing like pilot goggles. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I forgot that's such a cute one.
Yeah. Now that we know Miramax was behind it, it's kind of interesting. Of course, we won't talk about gross, you know who, but
yeah.
Okay, September. So another little benefit awards thing.
Yeah.
This is the Dinner of Champions benefiting the National Multiple Scoliosis Society, random. But Bill Mechanic, who we just talked about, he was honored. Again, full circle. That was presented by Steven Spielberg. But so I started doing like a little more into Bill Mechanic, and he was at Fox during Ever After, Never Been Kissed, Olive, and Titan AE. They did all those movies.
Okay.
And I found like an article from Variety all the way back in 97 where it was about Ever After. And then it said Drew Barrymore is not only being fitted for the glass slipper, but also a 2-year first look production deal fairy godfathered by Fox president Bill Mechanic. He definitely like kind of allowed her, as she said, to like, you know, try these projects out.
he was somebody who gave her the ability to do that.
Exactly.
Of course, she's going to be thanking the people who give her opportunities because
Always.
as we've been talking about on our Patreon,
Patreon.com/howdyoudo.
people have not always been kind and supportive of her. Like we were talking about how she's had a hard time. She had a hard time in a certain time in her life going into a room and having people give her a chance. So of course she's always going to be that person who's like, thank you for being here and supporting me and not being the person who laughed me out of a room.
Oh, that's so true. And then we can assume right in this range is when training started for Charlie's Angels, because we see all the footage of the girls, right? Drew's still blonde in a lot of them. But there was an interview done at this scoliosis event where I think I'm remembering it right. I had it on tape. It was like from Entertainment Tonight. And she talks about how she'd started training and she'd been working so hard that her butt muscles were flinching. I always remember that.
I can feel it, Drew. Your visceral description.
I think they started filming in January. So that would sort of track that's still quite a few months of training.
Totally. So then she attended a wildlife way station brunch benefit, which I think she'd been involved with the wildlife way station since like 95.
Yeah.
So at this event, I feel like there's something like she's in between like eyebrow colors. There's something.
Yes, there's eyebrow things happening because I noticed the eyebrows. So it has to be intense eyebrows if I notice it because I have eyebrow blindness normally.
Yes. Like I'm wondering, I can't remember exactly, but they might be like blonde or something. Like I don't know. Like there's something.
Thicker.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's worth putting that in. But yes, I love that this is Drew kind of doing some of her philanthropy.
Yeah.
Around animals. So yay. And then she also attended the Blue Streak premiere with Luke Wilson. And there are some really cute flirty pictures here from this event.
They're like holding hands and he's kissing her on the cheek. What's going on?
They really look like a current item. Who is in Blue Streak?
I think Luke is. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so she went as his date. Okay.
Yeah.
And then another premiere. This was for a movie called Dog Park, and it was a movie with Molly Shannon. Makes sense. She would be supporting her Never Been Kissed co-star. A very plain look to this. These last two ones are just like gray and black, black and gray. And I love black and gray, but for Drew, it's very, very, I feel like actually with Luke, she kind of got like very conservative in her clothing.
Well, we talked about that in our year in review episode for 1996, that we sort of see her style from switching from Eric to Luke. You can kind of see it changing.
Yeah, that's true. So this is kind of a continuation of that. And I can see that in her, on top of the fact that she's pro Drew,
business lady.
And then finally for September, we have the 25th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. And we've talked about this briefly before because Drew was in the audience of the event. And there was a portion where Bill Murray, who was famously a Saturday Night Live cast member early on, he starts singing to Drew, "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls." And we kind of were thinking, or is it for sure? Did you just say like, oh, you think it's
it's not my original thought. I remember hearing it at the time or something, or it was like in a magazine or something like that.
Because
that
she
it
was
like
trying to get him cast for Charlie's Angels. And it was kind of him being like, don't be crazy.
You're not getting me. But then apparently she worked her Drew charm and she did. But there's all those cute pictures of her posing on the red carpet with Molly Shannon. Love their little friendship.
So cute. Another thing I remember many clippings of, so many like clippings and like twist where it's like cut out of her body and like a shape. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't even know if this is one that there's actually something from Twist, but I feel like they always did like cutesy stuff with their clippings.
I know exactly what you mean.
I was going to say one last thing about this, which is that this is the instance where she's wearing like the full blue monochromatic version of the poncho shiny skirt.
It's funny. Like these two poncho looks are so simple. Like she clearly did that intentionally, right?
Yeah, it had to be like the same place. She's like, I'll get one in blue and one in pink. They're a little different.
And I'll match my entire outfits to that color.
Don't have to think anything more about it.
Just a couple more things to round out the year. Like the year kind of starts going real fast now.
Yes.
The only thing we have in October is that she was a celebrity server for this benefit that was at the Palm restaurant in LA. It literally just says like to raise money for a local fund or something. Like it's very vague. So I don't know what it's for. I'm trying to read the tiny little clipping. It looks like Andy Dick and Bob Saget were also doing it.
The only thing I really, really remember about this and looking at it again, I'm like, yep, the massive white jacket that she's wearing.
Big, like, it's almost like a maitre d' jacket. And then November, we have a couple quick things. And again, we don't normally like to talk about paparazzi stuff. We've only mentioned it because it's sort of like notable as far as like what's going on with her and Luke. I think that's the only reason. But again, she's photographed with him. She was changing in a parking lot. And she later said that she was jogging as part of her training for Charlie's Angels and her hotel room wasn't ready. So she just changed by her car. And I remember she said, and I do that all the time. Like she didn't think it was a big deal. But of course, a bunch of creeps with cameras were around and took pictures. So gross.
Yeah, it kind of is. I think it's funny, unless I'm remembering it wrong. Don't we also have pictures of her changing outside with Luke in 1996?
Yep. And Luke's always fully clothed and just standing around like, doo-doo.
Yeah. Well, at least we know he's watching over.
True.
But yeah, so here we are with Luke. So on again, we don't really know what's going on, but either way, cute.
And then she went on the Martin Short show, and that's where she tells the story about changing. Nothing exists of this. We don't have photos of it, but I have it on a tape somewhere. I've seen it.
Oh my God.
And then there was yet another gala. This is called the Big Sisters Guild of LA. The honoree was Laura Ziskin, who was also a big Fox person who was kind of like put in charge of Flower Films in sort of a way.
Okay.
But she apparently drew bid on a puppy that was being auctioned off, and she gave it to Laura. There's a really cute picture of them with the puppy.
Yeah, I don't remember this picture. It is really cute.
So random. And Nancy was there as well, which kind of makes sense since they're like Flower Films related things here.
Yep. And then we have another thing, another luncheon. This is Premiere Magazine's Women in Hollywood Luncheon, 6th annual. So here we are for
a full year hasn't even gone by and we're back.
No. She presented an award to Gwyneth Paltrow at this luncheon. And once again, pictures of her wearing a very, very understated, just like all black outfit. I think maybe her pants are gray.
Yeah, very boring. And once again, Steven Spielberg just popping up all the time.
That's true. I think just in these notes, I've seen like 3 different things of him with her. That's really sweet. And now we are in the last month of the year. We are in December of 1999 for Olive the Other Reindeer press. Why is she so cute?
Love these.
Why is it so darn cute?
I
don't know.
I don't either. I've always loved the footage from this press, which I think I've only seen. Well, there's probably like an Entertainment Tonight thing, but mostly it's on the Olive DVD. You can see this interview. She's in like a green scarf. So cute.
I need to rewatch.
Randomly, she attended. We have one picture, a paparazzi picture where she's going to Ben Affleck's holiday party? ?
Okay.
And she's holding hands with none other than Luke. And it's like they filmed Charlie's Angels so soon after that. But like this is probably the last time there's ever like a sort of hint of romance between them that we see. So kind of notable because here comes Tom Green waiting in the wings.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. And then we basically end the year just before Christmas. Olive airs on Fox December 17th.
Yay. We love Olive.
And we also covered Olive the Other Reindeer. I feel like through this episode and many of these reviews, it's like episode. I don't know if I think you started to do this where like on episode pages, you're like, and make sure you visit these episodes that we mentioned.
I should probably do that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, not that people whatever. If they haven't listened to the whole backlog by now, what are you doing with your life?
That's a cool thing. You don't have to like, it would be cool eventually to put them in like chronological order of Drew's life. It'd be really difficult, but how fun would that be? Like,
it would be difficult, but would it?
yeah, because there's some that span like so many years,
Oh,
like
that's true.
music videos or the Academy Awards or whatever.
That's
but
true.
Anyway, okay, going off topic, we got to wrap this up.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
99.
do.
I love you. I loved this year. I love being class of 99. And I loved like getting to know Drew that year. Like being a fan was so fun at that time.
Yeah, it was. And just casually 25 years ago.
Yep.
So we're covering like basically a I was gonna say vintage, but yeah, vintage topic.
It probably would qualify, which means I'm vintage.
I think antique is more than 100 years old, but vintage, people get like vintage 90s stuff. So we're kind of talking about a vintage topic right now. Yeah, human beings, though, do we get to call ourselves vintage? I don't know. All right. So yeah, let's wrap up this episode.
All right. Thank you guys. I hope you liked this trip down memory lane. This was fun for us. And anybody who was there at this time, oh, you know what we're talking about. If you weren't there, I hope you got to live vicariously through our reminiscing. Mm-hmm. If you liked it, go rate and review and subscribe on all your platforms where you listen to us. Follow us on Instagram at How Do You Drew Pod. And then, of course, also on Drewseum, our other account with lots and lots of Drew. All the Drew you need comes straight from our fingertips into your eyeballs.
And if you want to have more things from your fingertips to your eyeballs, make sure you visit our website at howdoyoudrew.com, hosted on the Drewseum.com. If you want more things for your ear holes, sign up for our Patreon. Patreon.com/howdoyoudrew. Don't forget to send listener mail to us at any and all of these places, and also howdoyoudrewpod@gmail.com. My question to take us out right now is, what is the most satisfying crunchy snack that you can think of?
I always laugh because it always comes back to food. Yeah.
Because I think you like crunchy snacks.
I do like crunchy. I have an answer for this. I thought about it recently and now I can't think of what it was. I don't know. My brain hurts.
Well, the only thing that the reason I asked is because I don't usually like corn nuts. But have you ever had the like thicker nut?
Yes, the like big kind of like Peru ones. Yeah, those are
the
good.
Ones they call like Inca corn nuts or something. Anyway, I just thought of those because those are really yummy and satisfying.
You know what I was thinking about that I like, I love a like crunch of cereal with the milk before it's like gotten soggy.
Me too.
Does that count?
Me too. It does count. That's actually a beautiful answer because I'm not a person who likes my cereal to sit. Like I just want to eat it before it gets.
Yep.
If it gets a little soggy, I'm kind of like, it's not as good. I love that answer so much.
Woohoo! I nailed it.
I'm hungry for like a perfect like cereal bite.
Truly.
With some
it's
like
dinner time over here. I better get some food.
The last thing I'll say about cereal is I am a cereal mixer. So right now I'm craving Crispix mixed with grape nuts.
Wow. That's
blueberries. You got me putting blueberries on all of my cereal every day.
That one I can get behind. Your cereal combo.
You're not sure about
you.
All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We love you and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This episode of the How Do You Drew podcast was researched and produced by Ashley and Ann from thedrewseum.com with help from our sponsor, Positive Medium. Special thanks to Matt Costa for our lovely theme song, Roxy Prima for our adorable logo, and last but not least, Drew Barrymore and all the Drewbies who love her. We do this for you. Thank you.